Hi everyone, it's Eden from the Eastern Shore Food Lab at Washington College. Today we're going to be talking about composting. Anyone can do it, it's super easy, and I'm going to go through some things like common problems that people have when composting at home and also some myths. We're here in my kitchen, it's just my little apartment, and I have plenty of space to do it, so anyone can. So the first thing you're gonna need when you're composting at home is a countertop container. Anything with a lid will work perfectly because it's not gonna be in here for very long. I wanted to use some kind of crock. Of course, I'm 25. Who owns a crock when they're 25? So who did I ask? My mom. I asked my mom, I said, do you have a crock? And she's like, of course I do. Pro tip, ask your mom. If your mom doesn't have one, ask your grandma. I bet she has one. We're gonna dive into my compost jar here. I really don't know exactly what's in here. We're just gonna pull some random things out. First thing we got here is a paper towel. That would be an example of a brown material. That's what's gonna keep your compost from smelling really bad, is to make sure you have enough of brown material like paper towels, dryer lint. You can compost. A lot of people don't know that, but you can compost dryer lint. This is also a reminder to clean out your dryer lint trap, people. We don't want house fires. We have some matchsticks. I've also got some eggshells in here. That would be an example of green material, which is things like eggshells, vegetable scraps, meat scraps. That's another common misconception. You can compost meat and dairy, even though people say you shouldn't. The only reason they say that is because it attracts critters, but we have some other solutions for that to solve those problems as well. So one of the most common methods of composting is the 3-pile system. It's an awesome system to use if you have the space. I use it on my horse farm for the large scale compost that we do, and it works fabulous. I personally don't want my household compost in with this just because my dogs like to get into it and then eat things they're not supposed to, and that's another vet bill I don't want to deal with. So this system's awesome, but we have another great household solution that only requires 1 or 2 large trash cans, and you can do it in an apartment, you can do it in a neighborhood where maybe your neighbors don't want the compost in the backyard, and it's another great solution. So the method we're going to talk about today requires just a regular trash can like this. I'm using a metal one because it's what I had in my garage. And you can use a plastic one, you can use one like this, doesn't matter. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a drill, and you're also going to take some safety glasses, especially if you're me, because I'm really dangerous. And you're going to drill holes in this trash can all over. We have drilled some holes all around the can. There's plenty of them, and the reason for that is so that the compost gets enough oxygen, which is an important part in the process of it breaking down. What I did next is I took some screen, and you can get it from your hardware store. They might even have scrap pieces, and you take those pieces of screen and you can tape it or glue it on the inside to all of these holes. And that way it'll keep the compost from coming out, and it will keep larger critters from getting in. So once you have enough brown and green materials in your compost, you're going to want to turn it. With a 3-pile system, normally you would use a tractor or a shovel to flip the material around until enough oxygen gets mixed into it. With the trash can system, it's convenient because you just lay it down and roll it back and forth until you feel like the material is well enough mixed, and then it can wait and compost some more. You're going to want to keep an eye on it and see when you feel like it's finished or when you want to stop adding to it, because once you stop adding to it, then it'll completely finish the process and become the nice compost. To do this, you can either use a second can made just like the one we did today, or you can dump the compost in a designated location where it can finish off the process and you can go back to it later. Composting is so accessible for anyone to do. Any household can add it into their daily regimen, and it's a really cool thing to experiment with, and people have been doing it for millions of years, and we're just adding to the natural process that wants to happen.